Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome once again to Bulls Basketball Playoff.
Basketball has an advantage compared to some of the other sports in the USA. It's an international game played in a number of foreign countries from Canada to China. The NBA as a league is a global endeavor, and many notable figures in the history of the league have come from outside the US. In this video, we'll have a look at the latest wave of international prospects set to join the league in the latest draft. But first, a simple reminder on how to enter our brand new giveaway. We will be giving away either an iPhone X Max, the new iPad mini, or a MacBook Pro. It's all your choice. So be sure to leave a like, comment the keyword, subscribe, and turn on notifications to enter the giveaway. It's really that simple. Leandro Bolmaro. For the first player on this list, we have to head to Spain and their Liga ACB. It's the highest level of basketball in Spain and recognized as one of the top international leagues in the world. Over the years, a number of players have made the jump from the Liga ACB to the NBA and vice versa, and one of the next ones might just be Leandro Bolmaro, a blossoming Argentinian star who currently plays for Barcelona. There are no Argentinian players in the league right now, but it looks like Bolmaro could be part of a breaking trend. The country, of course, famously produced former Spurs star Manu Ginobili. No Argentinian player has actually been taken in the first round of the draft since 2003 when Carlos Delfino was picked number 25 overall. Bolmaro is a player that might draw comparisons to Ginobili, not just because of his nationality, but because he's almost exactly the same height and plays the same position. Both are shooting guards and both have a similar frame. If you look at Bolmaro's statistics, you might assume that he isn't a first-round prospect. Playing in a lesser league than the NBA, he has only 8 games played with a total of 12.4 minutes per game and 2.9 points per game. However, the main stat line doesn't tell the entire story, as Bolmaro spent time with the Barcelona B team and had significantly better statistics while playing with that club. One area that his play diverges from the example of Manu Ginobili is the focus of his skills. Bolmaro looks more like a defensive player compared to the other Argentinian star, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. In a league with more and more good shooters, a defensive shooting guard that can shut down an opponent is a good asset. As a shooting guard, Bolmaro isn't one of the top prospects at his position. There are others ranked higher, including Georgia's Anthony Edwards, who is projected by many as the number 1 overall selection in the draft. However, thanks to showing promise against professional players as a teenager, it looks like Bolmaro does have a good chance of getting selected within the first round. If it does happen, he'll surely have the support of Argentina, as the country is represented in the NBA once again. Deni Avdija. The Golden State Warriors, if they don't trade their pick, have a big choice ahead of them. They have the second pick in the draft after their terrible finish during the 1920 season, and they still have a chance to bounce back and contend in the Western Conference with a healthy Stephen Curry and Klay Thompson. However, that depends on the Warriors making the right moves to manage their roster leading up to next season. One potential big addition is Deni Avdija, one of the top-ranked players coming into the league internationally in this draft class. Avdija has been mocked to the Warriors by some sources and plays for Maccabi Tel Aviv in Israel. Avdija has played the small forward and power forward positions, which is a plus for the Warriors, as the team is still trying to fill the gap that was left by Kevin Durant. Durant's departure played a big role in the collapse of the Warriors, and taking in a highly talented forward prospect in the draft would give them some production in that area without taking a lot of money on the salary cap. Avdija is Israeli-Serbian, and his father was born in Pristina, Yugoslavia, now a part of the partially recognized nation of Kosovo. The family has a basketball history in both regions, as Avdija's father played for the Red Star Belgrade for 11 years and was the team captain before making the move to the Israeli League. Avdija himself is a dual citizen, and while he was the camp MVP of a Basketball Without Borders camp in Belgrade, his actual career has taken place in Israel. While 12.9 points per game and 6.3 rebounds per game doesn't sound like statistics from a possible top 3 selection in the NBA draft, it's worth remembering that Avdija is already 19 and playing against professionals. He was also named the Israeli League MVP and became the youngest player to win the award. Additionally, he was on the All-Israeli League first team during his most recent season in Israel. He's shown further promise while playing with the Israeli national team. With the Under-20 Israeli national team, Avdija has already won 2 gold medals in the FIBA Under-20 European Championship. More recently, he graduated to the senior national team, despite having more years of eligibility left to play with the Under-20 team. His statistics might not be the most mind-blowing compared to some of the other prospects in this draft, but don't be surprised if the Warriors do select Avdija with the second pick. They still need to replace Durant, plant, and a solid prospect that's already a professional is a start to getting back to production at the forward spot. Aleksej Pokusevski, the next player on our list, also has roots in Serbia and is coming into the league rather young. Pokusevski is only 18 years old and was impressively born back in 2001, but may find himself selected in the first round despite the lack of a longer track record. However, Pokusevski also does have a track record of exceeding expectations as a young player. He became the youngest player in history to debut for Greek club Olympiacos when he appeared for the senior team as a 17-year-old. Pokusevski might remind fans of another big man from Serbia, Nikola Jokic. Jokic became famous for playing a different style than a traditional NBA center and racking up more assists than many of the point guards in the league. Based on the averages per 36 minutes, it looks like Pokusevski is taking his game to the same direction. Assists are one of his biggest strengths, as he has 4.8 assists per game, in addition to 12.2 rebounds per game by this metric. These stats are more impressive when you consider that Pokusevski is a large player with a 7-foot height and 7'3" wingspan. He's also been a fixture of Serbian youth teams on the national level and averaged 10 points and 7 rebounds per game during the 2019 Under-18 European Championship. Due to these flashes of potential at a young age, Pokusevski is considered by some to be one of the top 10 prospects in the draft. At the position of power forward, he appears to be one of the top 5 prospects and may be selected somewhere between the upper and middle parts of the first round. The success of Nikola Jokic in Denver has already proved that this style of international player can come over and succeed in the NBA, and because of that, Pokusevski might find NBA scouts and general managers already receptive to his style of play. Killian Hayes. Despite his less exotic sounding name compared to some of the other players on this list, Killian Hayes is indeed an international prospect. He's also projected as one of the top ones in the draft class this year and might even be the top prospect out of all of them. Of course, that depends on whose word you want to trust. The evaluations of Hayes vary, but all of them have him somewhere near the top of this list of international prospects right now. Hayes was born in Florida, but has French nationality and represents France at the international level. While playing with the French youth teams, he won a silver medal in the 2018 Under-17 World Cup and a gold medal in the 2016 Under-16 European Championship. Born in 2001 and age 19 right now, Hayes is another young professional. He made his senior team debut with Cholet when he was only 16 years old, and playing as a professional since 2017 has given him a comparable amount of experience to an American player that went through the college basketball system. Hayes is a good player with both scores and assists according to his 36 minutes per game metrics. He had 16.8 points per 36 minutes and also has a great 7.8 assists per 36 minutes. The latter will stand out more to NBA scouts, and it's part of the reason you can make a case for Hayes being worth a pick as one of the first international prospects off the board. One mock draft has Hayes being selected just outside the top 5 by the Atlanta Hawks, which is especially interesting because the Hawks already have Trae Young. Young has quickly become one of the top scorers in the league alongside older pros who have far more experience. And adding a passing-focused player like Hayes to the Hawks could allow them to get more out of their young star. Anyways, that wraps up this video. Thanks for watching, and I'll be seeing you in the next one.